Welcome to Channel 18 News. I'm Jim Rogers. All monuments at Weaver Cemetery have been reset and a new flag flies over the scene after Hopkins County Sheriff Lewis Tatum dispatched inmates and staff to the cemetery Tuesday morning. In 3 hours, the monuments were secured back in place. Tatum stated the strength of the inmates was supported by the use of a backhoe on the larger monuments. According to Tatum, County criminal investigators are securing a warrant for the arrest of an individual in connection to the damage found Monday at the cemetery. Approximately 65 monuments were overturned at the cemetery, and the U.S. flag that was at the Veterans Memorial in Weaver Cemetery was burned, according to Hopkins County deputies. Members of the Silver Spring City Council tabled the agenda item that would have put in place capital improvements for 2019 through 2023. They did agree to conduct a workshop to give further consideration to the project, including the number of projects that will be included in the improvement plan. Mayor John Sellers and Mayor Pro Tem Emily Glass were re-elected, along with the swearing in of new council members.
I, Erica Armstrong,
Do solemnly swear
that I will faithfully execute the duties of the office of Sulphur Springs City Council Place 1
of Sulphur Springs City Council Place 1
of the state of Texas,
of the state of Texas,
and will to the best of my ability
and will to the best of my ability
preserve, protect, and defend
preserve, protect, and defend
the Constitution and laws
the Constitution and laws
of the United States
of the United States
and of this state.
and of this state.
So help me God.
So help me God.
You are so sworn. You're going to put your right hand on the Bible.
Right hand?
Oh, well, no, you can do it either way you want, Jimmy. I, Jimmy D. Lucas,
I, Jimmy D. Lucas,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will faithfully execute
that I will faithfully execute
the duties of the office
the duties of the office
of Sulphur Springs City Council Place 2
of
Sulphur,
Sulphur Springs City Council Place 2
of the state of Texas,
of the state of Texas,
and will to the best of my ability
and will to the best of my ability
preserve, protect, and defend
preserve, protect, and defend
the Constitution and laws
the Constitution and laws
of the United States
of the United States
and of this state.
and of this state.
So help me God.
So help me God.
You are so sworn.
Thank you.
Thank you. I, Norman Sanders,
I, Norman Sanders,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will faithfully execute
that I will faithfully execute
the duties of the office
the duties of the office
of Sulphur Springs City Council Place 3
of Sulphur Springs City Council Place 3
of the state of
of
Texas,
the state of Texas,
and will to the best of my ability
and will to the best of my ability
preserve, protect, and defend
preserve, protect, and defend
the Constitution and laws
the Constitution and laws
of the United States
of the United States
and of this state.
and of this state.
So help me God.
So help me God.
You are so sworn. Congratulations. I, Doug Moore,
I, Doug Moore,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will faithfully execute
that I will faithfully execute
the duties of the
the
office
duties of the office
of Sulphur Springs City Council Place 6
of Sulphur Springs City Council Place 6
of the state of
of the
Texas,
state of Texas,
and will to the best of my ability
and will to the best of my ability
preserve, protect, and defend
preserve, protect, and defend
the Constitution and laws
the Constitution and laws
of the United States
of the United States
and of this state.
and of this state.
So help me God.
So help me God.
You are so sworn. Congratulations.
In discussion of the capital improvement plan, Councilman Jimmy Lucas asked members of the city staff if they had personally been involved in assimilating streets and water and sewer line projects presented. The city staff was present for a question and answer session regarding the capital improvement plan. They each answered that they had been involved in the process. Lucas stated that he agreed with the plan because those workers knew the city as they drive the streets and study the needs. The difficulty in approving the plan as presented is the current overwhelming need in the city. Over the next 5 years, the city needs to spend between $37 million to $49 million to stay on schedule for replacement. Currently, or last year, the city spent $1.4 million. According to city staff reports, sewer and water line replacement is falling behind 1.25 miles a year. In 5 years, the city will be 6.25 miles behind schedule. In 20 years, the city will be 25 miles, or 16% of the city system will be worse. Currently, roads are being rebuilt with a goal of 1.5 miles per year. In 20 years, the city will be 20 miles or more behind, which means 21% of the street system will be worse. Overlay of streets is falling behind 4 miles a year, and in 20 years, 86% of the city street system will be worse, meaning the city will need to rebuild more streets. Council members tabled the capital improvement plan to discuss all the possibilities that would bring the city to a steady pace to keep up with improvements as needed. The council also approved contracts for piping and fittings and for boring needed for the Cantex capital improvement plan. The Cantex project will replace 2,400 linear feet of aging sewer force main and 2,900 feet of gravity main. Currently, the main passes through the middle of the hospital complex. This would be a nightmare if the main street ruptures, or if the main ever ruptures. The proposed route would go around the hospital complex rather than through it. 1/3 of the city's sewage passes through this line. They also approved changes to the personnel policy regarding the police department. City Manager Mark Maxwell reported Sunset Street improvements will include new water mains, new sewer mains, and new concrete streets from Conley to Houston Street. City Manager Maxwell made his report to the council Tuesday night.
So Sunset Street, I reported to you last month that we were designing the project and that we would turn it in this month. In fact, we have finished the design. The design is turned in. I expect that we will be constructing it sometime this fall. That is a grant of $275,000. It's the Community Development Block Grant Program, which is a federal grant. It is coming through a state agency, and in this case, it is the Texas Housing and Community Affairs Department. Texas Department of Housing and Community Affairs, TDHCA. So it's a $275,000 grant along with $132,000 of matching from the city. It will be replacing the water mains, the sewer mains, and building a new concrete street with curb and gutter from Houston to Conley Street. On the Cantex force main, we've talked about this a few times before. The bid for the materials on this project is later on the agenda tonight, and we'll be starting on that pretty soon. The wastewater treatment plant is going well. The 3 final clarifiers have been constructed, and they're running the piping and wiring to all of it to make them work, and I expect that sometime early in July we will bring those online, and we will move on to the second phase of the wastewater treatment plant improvements. The Crosstown Trail is progressing well. They are at the railroad tracks right now on the backside of Buford Park. So we're building ramps up to the railroad tracks on both sides, and then the Kansas City Southern Railroad is going to come in and actually build the railroad crossing itself. When the project is done, it will connect Buford Park with Coleman Park and the high school and Civic Center Dairy Museum complex, and it will also include a sidewalk on the north side of Conway Street. We didn't have any workers' compensation claims in May, but we did have one liability claim on Mockingbird Street. An Atmos contractor struck and ruptured a water line in the 1300 block. As a result, debris entered the water service of a local restaurant, causing $9,750 in damages. TML denied the claim since the damage was not caused by the city. And Finance Director Lisa Smith will give us a year-to-date report of revenues and expenditures. But before she does, I want to draw your attention to one of the items on the bullet list. I have highlighted it in bold. You will see that Division 60 repaired 3 water main breaks. That is an extraordinarily low number. Part of the reason that's a low number is because for 20 years we've been replacing water mains and we've been seeing it gradually drop. But this is still extraordinarily low. I mean, we've seen months of 100, and don't expect to see this very often. We're coming up on July and August when we will see many more water breaks, but I just wanted to draw your attention to that. I don't think I've ever seen a number that low on water breaks.
Second Saturday in June, that's always parade day for Hopkins County Dairy Festival. And this Saturday, June 9th, the weather is expected to be fabulous. Come on out to Buford Park and watch the parade get started, or settle in somewhere along the parade route and watch for people you know and wave. Also, cheer the parade as it goes by and be sure and stand for Old Glory as it passes by. A little bit more on this wonderful Hopkins County hometown tradition, Dairy Festival. Here's Parade Chairman David Watson.
I have been on the board for about 10 years.
How long have you been participating in Dairy Festival?
I'd say that's kind of a hard question. I just saw one of your photos over there from 1964, where I'm on a float with Judy Ross and Judy Heaps now. So I think that was my first experience with the Dairy Festival. But
and how old would you have been in 1964?
I would have been about 4 years old at that time. So, yeah, I can remember that well. It was a lot of fun. Leprechauns.
So the float is passing in front of the Mission Theater.
It is.
And
on
you
Conley
and
Street.
Some other little leprechauns are reclined on the float.
Yeah, we're reclined on the float, and I remember doing that well. Can't believe it was 1964. But yes, I mean, grew up here, and always Dairy Festival's always been a big part of my life. My mom was on the board for a while, and I can remember spending a lot of times with my dad's service club building floats, my mom's service clubs building floats, and then of course different members of my family have been in the Dairy Festival. My sister, my wife, one of my daughters. So it's just been a huge part of my life, and a lot of fun.
And that reflects the same as lots of other Hopkins County families who, in their ways, Dairy Festival has been a big part of their lives.
Oh, no question about it. This is just a completely awesome community. I don't know why you want to live anywhere else.
You love it so much, you moved to the center of it.
I did, actually. I did. Right in the center, yeah. So we'll have a great bird's eye view of the parade this year.
Wonderful. Well, speaking of the parade, I was asking you the question when you first came in, and of course it's this Saturday morning, the first weekend of Dairy Festival.
That's right.
And do you have this master list of everybody who's going to be in the parade?
I wouldn't say we have a master list. We have several that we know for sure they're coming. But, it's a lot of fun. We just, it's never too late to be in the parade if you want to be in the parade. It does start at 10 o'clock from Buford Park, and it will follow the normal, what I would call the normal parade route for the Dairy Festival. Has been doing it for years, which is east on Conley Street to the downtown Celebration Plazas, and then it will go south on Gilmer, South Broadway, all the way to Lee Street. So there's lots of places to view the parade along that route.
Looks to me like Saturday's weather is going to be parade perfect.
Oh, my goodness. It gets better every day. When I first started looking at the long-range forecast, it was like 100 plus, but I think now it's down to upper 90s for the high. So that means, in the morning, it'll be in the 80s, so it should be perfect.
Perfect. Absolutely perfect. And hopefully not lots of wind. When you're carrying a flag, so the Hopkins County Sheriff's Posse always has some mounted riders that carry flags. And so
yes,
when
ma'am.
you're carrying a flag, it's heavy as it is with the wooden flagpole, and then with wind adding to that, sometimes that's a little
challenging.
Yeah.
Never done that, but we appreciate y'all very much doing that and leading the parade every year and carrying the colors.
It just looks great as the parade goes by.
It does. It's a way to start the parade, for sure.
Now, it's free to enter the parade.
It's free to enter the parade. We do have some information on our website if you're interested in being in the parade. It's hopkinscountydairyfestival.com. Kind of up toward the top right is a parade section. You can click on that, and there's a couple of forms and some general information about the parade. But basically, it starts at 10 o'clock. You can line up anytime after 9, and we have 2 check-in points One is on the south entrance to the park near the skate park, and the other is on the north entrance to the park close to the old Eagle Stadium area.
Okay.
And they will have all the forms needed if you forget or don't have time to look or whatever. They'll have everything you need to check in.
Okay.
Just come on out and have a good time. And of course, we encourage everyone to decorate their entry to support the dairy industry, or our theme, which is Party Till the Cows Come Home.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a great theme to work with.
Yeah, it leaves room for lots of different ideas within that. Well, so the parade, of course, the kickoff is actually Friday
That's
for Dairy
right.
Festival.
We'll have ribbon cutting on the downtown Celebration Plaza on Friday, and that's the official kickoff. Of course, the first weekend is just crazy with activities, with the balloons and the parade and the milking contest and the ice cream contest. So it'll be a great weekend to enjoy the Dairy Festival.
And balloons in the parade.
Balloons are definitely in the parade. They love that, and they do such a great job. They have a contest within themselves for decoration, to see who can have the craziest and wildest float with their balloons. So they have a ton of fun, and we really appreciate their participation. You know, the balloons have been such a huge addition to the Dairy Festival over the years, and we have a waiting list for that, and it's just amazing. Pretty much the same people come every year, and they truly enjoy it and love the small town atmosphere and just the excitement of the Dairy Festival, and they really get into it.
And they come from all kinds of places.
They come from all over. I mean, there's a lot of them that are fairly close, but there's several that drive from other states to come to this event. It's just such a laid-back atmosphere for them. A lot of their festivals are very competitive, and so this one is just a lot of fun for them, and they really enjoy it.
And we stress safety, of course.
Of course. David and Pam Black are the chairman of the balloon committee. I think David's coming in tomorrow to talk to you about balloons, but they do a fabulous job. They're very organized, and it's a lot of fun to watch. I love the balloons.
Well, I suppose these people go back to where they live and work and spread the news about
No
this
question about it.
unique place where we live, Hopkins County, where you milk cows and go in hot air balloons and have parades and celebrate the dairy industry.
Yeah, it's like extended family, because you see the same families coming back year after year after year, and they just love our community and the spirit here, the generosity here, and just the way we live here is very attractive to them. They love coming here.
Well, looking back through your life and even your parents, way back in Hopkins County's roots, when we first started in the dairy industry, Hopkins County began to grow and prosper.
Oh, no question about it. It's a huge part of our economy, and I mean every family was either in the dairy business or knew somebody who was in the dairy business. I mean, growing up, that's what it was all wrapped around. And I can remember my family was in the tractor implement business, the John Deere business. It was a huge part of, obviously, the dairy industry, and I mean, it was just our way of life here. And so the Dairy Festival has always been such a special time for me and a lot of people, obviously.
When people bought land, put in farms, built homes.
No question about it.
It helped expand, certainly, our borders in Hopkins County and Sulphur Springs, too.
Sure.
Well, what else is there to do on Saturday, the first day? Now, the first day is June 9th. I'm not sure when the Dairy Classic show is.
You're talking about
the cattle show. I may be putting you on the spot for that.
No, the cattle show, I believe, starts at 10 also, but it goes on, during the day. I'm not sure about the times.
Okay.
But you've got time. I know if you want to go to the parade and then go to the dairy show, you can definitely work those in between that, and then that followed up by the milking contest at 3 o'clock.
And please do go to that Dairy Classic show, because these youngsters who raise these cattle and are influenced by their family farms, or maybe friends who help them, contribute in their own way to what Hopkins County still is as a dairy capital.
Most definitely.
And so that's where the roots are of Dairy Festival.
No question about it. That's how it all got started.
From cows, jerseys, and when the Holsteins came in and the other breeds that we have represented here. It's a lot of fun. There's so much of it that's absolutely free to get involved in.
All free, that's right.
Even the ice cream contest.
Ice cream contest is a great event. It is a fundraiser for the Chamber of Commerce. So you make a donation, you get a bowl, and you can just eat ice cream until you can't eat anymore. And it's going to be a lot of fun because they've moved the time this year, so it'll coincide more with the balloon event Saturday night, so you can come eat ice cream and then just move right into the balloons, and it'll all be at the same location at Shannon Oaks Church, so that'll be a lot of fun.
If you have passed by Shannon Oaks, of course it's always beautiful property, but passed by it lately, it is groomed to the T.
Oh, it is groomed. They've been working on it hard, so they can keep it mowed and make it a lot safer and a lot more fun for the balloon and a lot more for the viewers.
Beautiful stately oaks there in the back where the shade will be for the ice cream contest. Well, all right, David. I know you're involved in many things. This is a busy time for you for over the next 2 weeks, and of course the pageant is like the crown on top of the festival.
It is. I love the parade. The parade's a lot of fun for me, but really to me, the best thing about the Dairy Festival is watching the young ladies that are competing for the title of Dairy Festival Queen step out of their comfort zone a little bit and just to watch them mature on stage from what you see on Monday night when they start to practice, and then what you see on Saturday night is a different young lady, and it's just awesome to see them build their self-confidence and do something that, you know, it's a little out of the comfort zone for them, and it's a lot of fun. We have a great time with that. It's a great rehearsal week is a lot of fun for me.
And hats off too to Patricia Chase, who for 31 years has been overseeing the learning the walk and gaining the poise and confidence.
Patricia's awesome. Linda Hager and Patricia have been so involved with the pageant part of it. I mean, everything, but especially the pageant for years and years and years, and they do a fabulous job with those girls, and it's a great experience for them, I think.
Thank you, David, for your input this morning and all that you do to bring Dairy Festival.
Come out to the Dairy Festival. We're fired up, and we'll see you at the parade.
Okay, thank you, David Watson.
Thank you.
Thanks for watching Channel 18 News. Have a great evening.
Election of Mayor Pro Tem. So we now entertain any motions for nominees. Is there a second to his motion?
Second.
Is there any discussion or any other nominations at this time? There being none, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you very much. The next item on our agenda is discussion action on selection of mayor. This time we'll go ahead and entertain a motion with the nominee.
Nominate Don Sellers.
Second.
There's been a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? Any other nominations? There being none, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. He is unable to be here tonight. I do want to go ahead and say that he's had a planned conference for many months doing what he loves to do, talking about history and genealogy. Item number 5 on our agenda will be presentations, proclamations, and announcements. We do have one proclamation, but I don't believe the person receiving is here. That's correct. And then we'll go ahead and just enter that proclamation into the minutes as read. Thank you very much. Mr. Maxwell, I believe you have an announcement on that.
Yes, so our city attorney, Jim McElroy, was not able to be here tonight, but he asked me to invite all of you to the Rotary, which will be the Rotary Club, which will be Thursday the 14th. He's got the program that day, And the program is going to be on recycling. It's something that's come up here recently, and he has invited a speaker to come talk to us about that very subject. So anybody who's interested, please show up. Noon. It's noon, First United Methodist Church.
Thank you. Just kind of a quick reminder that we're about to enter the Dairy Festival. I believe the official kickoff is noon on the square when they'll have the ribbon cutting for the Hopkins County Dairy Festival. A lot of fun, a lot of events going on. Are there any other announcements that anyone would like to make?